What is going on, everybody? TG back here with another video. It has been a while, guys. I am sorry. I have been extremely busy. Working full time as a tennis coach is a lot of hours, and the problem is it's hours that are like, four here and then like a 2 hour break and then four here. So it's just like it's a lot, and it's really hard to have time to make a video because videos take a while to make. You have to plan it out, you have to actually record it, upload it, edit it, etc., etc., and then post it. So I haven't had time to, and I'm sorry also, markets have been hard, markets have been rough, and, just emotionally it's been like a little difficult to make videos, seeing the portfolio down all the time. But, I want to talk to you guys today about Alibaba and about a particular YouTuber who is doing a disservice to his community and his followers by making up blatant lies and spreading false news about China, false news about different things like that, and um, promoting China in a positive way that is not actually accurate. So I wanted to go over a little bit of that just because it's been like I'm still in the Discords. While I'm not actually investing in Alibaba, obviously, I'm still in the Discords. I still talk to you guys. I'm still very close to some of you people who are in these Alibaba Discords. And I just think that as someone who is a content creator, obviously not really active anymore, but seeing someone who is an active one who is profiting off of spreading false information on stocks, on nations in general, is just kind of a scummy thing to do. So this particular YouTuber that I want to talk about, we'll get on later in the video, Tay Chi Keng, the clickbait king guy for Alibaba, the one who says he's done with Baba this day, back in Baba this day. But that's not even bad. I mean, that's totally fine. Everyone can do whatever they want with that. What's awful is the fact that he is spreading false lies about China and false lies about President Xi. He talked about how President Xi is a good person who wants Alibaba to succeed, wants this stuff. Talks about how China is all about stability and security in their companies and in their markets. And by spreading these false lies, 10,000 subscribers, it's a pretty hefty amount. Sometimes you get 10,000, 20,000 views on a video. A lot of novice investors don't know, and they hear someone like this spreading these lies about China, because China is the opposite of that. And if you ask anyone who is an actual investor or an actual analyst, they will tell you the complete opposite. There is nothing stable about President Xi. There is nothing stable about the market or economy of China. China is extremely radical, extremely evil if you talk about the human rights violations and other stuff like that, and extremely unpredictable as well. They constantly, you're seeing every week President Xi in China increasing more crackdowns and regulations on stocks like Alibaba, like Tencent, Baidu, all these ones like that. And those stocks have taken big hits because of it. And so for months and months and months and months now, probably the past year, honestly, he continues to talk about how China is the safest investment, how it's an amazing country, how President Xi is trying to make Alibaba and different companies succeed and prosper, when in reality that's not true at all. If you actually look at what's going on in China with these crackdowns, with these regulations, it couldn't be farther from the truth. What China is trying to do with these crackdowns is trying to take powerful companies and break them down so they are not powerful anymore, which in turn hurts the companies, which in turn hurts the stock price, which in turn hurts those who are investing in, i.e. the shareholders, whether you're investing in the ADR here in the US or the actual asset 9988 in the Hong Kong market. So to see someone promoting false information is not a good thing to do, especially when you're talking about a company where so much money is invested into it, like Alibaba. You guys know me. I was a massive, massive bull in Alibaba. I got in well over a year ago, almost 2 years ago at this point. After the IPO fiasco and it crashed down to 250s, that's when I initially got in. And then it crashed down and it crashed down. And I lost a fortune. You guys know this. I lost over half of my portfolio in Alibaba. I was in it for well over a year. But eventually at like $160 a share, I realized that, even though the company itself is a good company and reporting good numbers, the trend of that will not continue because of these crackdowns. These crackdowns have permanently altered the business model of Alibaba. And if you look at it in the earnings, it shows that. Alibaba revenue is growing at only 10% year over year now, which is the lowest growth rate year over year since its IPO listing in 2014. Alibaba is slowing down. Their revenue is significantly slowing down. It is no longer a growth stock. And that is a big issue. Earnings per share as well, very, very low compared to what it used to be. If you actually look at Baba on a year-over-year net, like year-over-year, it's not growing net income anymore because they have to pour out so much money. If you also look at the Baba $15 billion fine that they have to pay, or the common prosperity, this is going to significantly hurt Alibaba as well. A $15.5 billion pledge to keep themselves in line, to make it so President Xi won't completely destroy their entire company. $15.5 billion, 100 billion yuan. And if you look at Alibaba, that is basically a year of net income just donating it to President Xi to try to keep them in line. That is crazy, absolutely crazy. So more than all the revenue that they made basically all the revenue they made between 2019 and 2020, gone. The net income, gone. Now, Alibaba is extremely cheap. There's no doubt about that. While its PE is up a little bit, obviously it's no longer the super cheap one. Its forward PE is still pretty cheap, and it's still growing at about 9% year over year, which unfortunately isn't that good. But one thing that people do like about Alibaba is it's a cash flow king. It does make a lot of money, but unfortunately, has to put out a lot of money as well, and the business model has been significantly altered. You talk about Ant Financial, and Ant valuation has been absolutely slashed. The Ant Financial was worth a massive amount at one time. We're talking almost $200 billion. Since then, has been wiped out over $150 billion since then because of what happened to it. Even as of last year, October 2021, Ant's valuation was slashed down to $78 billion. And it has dropped a lot more since then. You look at later on, and it has cracked down significantly more. Alibaba owns 32% of that. That hurts them a lot. Their IPO got slashed. That was a lot of funding that they missed. You talk about other things as well, like the Pick One system on Alibaba, where merchants had to choose, when people would buy or sell from Alibaba, they had to choose a specific merchant that was also owned by Alibaba. China removed that, and they are no longer allowed to do that. Now, people have the option to buy from different merchants from different sites, so Alibaba's competitors can get that money, which is why you've seen things like JD and PDD grow so much. Right now, it is extremely hard to grow in China, especially with China's economic growth. China economic growth is slowing down significantly, showing some of the worst growth, lowest economic growth in decades. This is huge. This is very, very bad, because if an economy is growing, people have more money to spend, more free cash to spend. What do they spend on? They can spend on things like buying stuff, like on Alibaba. But right now, with all of the harsh crackdowns and mandates of COVID, that's just not happening. Another lie that Tay Chi Keng talks about how these mandates are good and they help people and stuff like that, and it's not true at all. We've seen that these mandates do absolutely nothing. And you talk about a place like communist China, even worse. You think we had bad mandates there? China is even worse. And it is why their economy is in the dump, is why their stock market is a dump, and why soon there could be more in the dump if what people think might happen with them invading Taiwan, you'll see sanctions like you're seeing with Russia. And as you've seen with the Russian stock market, not really that good. You see Russia down 78%, 79% year to date, and that's just the beginning with these sanctions that are being put in place in Russia. Russia's economy is destroyed. Their ruble has absolutely been decimated. China backs Russia. China is Russia's biggest ally. What does that say for China? What does that say for Taiwan? What does that say for what could possibly happen with China? Does China decide to continue to back Russia? Do they decide to make a move on Taiwan like Russia did with Ukraine? I don't know, but there's a lot of risk involved. A lot of risk involved. And now that Alibaba is not growing like a growth company anymore and is growing at a measly 9% year over year revenue growth, it's hard to say that it is an amazing opportunity. I still like Alibaba. I think Alibaba is a great, great company. And if Alibaba falls more, it's very tempting to buy. The only issue is the geopolitical risk And something that this guy continues to lie about, talking about how it's stable, talking about how it's so good, talking about how President Xi is a great person that wants to help the markets, when they couldn't be farther from the truth. And he says that and he makes money off of you guys. That is the worst part. He spreads these lies and these clickbaits, and the people who are watching and losing a ton of money in it, he's making money off it and finds it extremely funny and hilarious and makes jokes about it as well. So it just proves that, I mean, there's bad people out there. There's a lot of bad people out there, and people like this especially, who have no actual knowledge about what's going on, but spread false information to profit off of it because he monetizes it. So he continues to promote, human rights violations with China and talks about how that's okay, and talks about how President Xi is a great guy when in reality he's actually an evil communist dictator. And he talks about how China is a strong, growing economy when it couldn't be farther from the truth. And then there's information to back that up, as we've seen with China's growth and, Alibaba earnings and the human rights violation that continue to happen in China every single day, with their terrible mandates and different stuff like that. So, it's hard. It's sad to see Alibaba like this because, this was once one of the greatest companies in the world and is now, a dying value stock. And it still trades kind of expensive. If you look at PE right now, Ford PE is obviously much cheaper. This was due to some bad earnings, but it also asks the question: will the earnings continue to be bad? Will they continue to miss on earnings? It's hard to tell, but I was able to get out right about here at like 165 when it popped up here, and thank God I did, because it dropped another like almost 40% since that happened. But guys, it's tough to see. It's really tough to see, and I feel bad because, again, this is a great company. The problem is it's in China, and China is just uninvestable. I wish I would have listened to CNBC a while ago in the summer when they said that it was uninvestable. They said it right around here actually. I still remember this exact date. It was like July 20 something, and it crashed right down here. About a day before, it was like right about 206, and that's when they came out with saying China is uninvestable. And I saw my portfolio was down big, and I doubled down and continued to buy more because I believed in it. But then the realization hit that I'm emotionally attached to this stock, and I need to get out of it because the numbers don't lie. The geopolitical risk doesn't lie. And while right now it was a great company, down the road, not so much. There's competition, there's regulation, there's crackdowns, there's communists. So it's bad. And when you see commies like this, communist people like this who promote this stuff just so they can make money, it's sad to see. But anyways, guys, I'll let you guys make that decision if this is someone you want to follow, if this is someone you trust. Someone who supports communism, someone who supports stocks, or not even stocks, supporting human rights violations, supporting President Xi, supporting spreading false information about stocks. So again, we'll see. Again, I messed up. I admitted I was wrong. Some people don't want to admit they're wrong, and they want to just make more money off it as they can. So it's the sad truth, and hopefully he'll get what's coming to him, and we'll see. But anyways, guys, enjoy your day. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy. Goodbye.